Okay, so good day and good morning. Good afternoon, rather. So, our main agenda for today is actually I'm going to discuss what do you call this one? Um, the answer key on your activity number one, since I am going to return it with you. Okay, so hang on a sec, and then let's see. Ayan. So, my late Mr. Aldana, again, I'm not accepting if there are no med certs. Okay, so import lang muna natin. Yan, para makita niyo. So, return ko ha. Okay. Able to see your scores? Have you received it? And I think it's possible now for you to open the forms that you submitted. Meron po ba? So,
Na-receive na po.
okay. So, open it. It's because we're going to discuss the answer keys. Okay. Online class 2021. What section is this one?
3 po, sir.
B. Okay. Sige. So, if you have questions or something that you wanted to ask for consideration, you may raise your hand and then right away we're going to talk about it. Okay. So, what is the definition of the reliability engineering? Check the box or boxes that applies on the question. Okay? So, everything. Okay? Kapag kulang, mali po. Okay? So, everything is actually answer for that question. Okay? Next. Hindi ko na siya i-discuss kasi lahat naman tama yung sagot. Next is, what is the definition of reliability? Okay, so everything as well are the answers. So pag kulang, automatic, mali po. Okay? So, next. These are the examples of the role of an engineers. Okay, so the answers are, sa dami ng binigay ni Sir, so mag-rely po tayo dun sa analysis and design side ng engineer. So, these are the answers. So, conduct routine and special inspections as required by regulations, inspect completed work to certify that maintenance meets standards and the aircraft are ready for operation. Okay? Inspect airframes for wear or other defects, supervising the assembly of the aircraft systems and engines, testing to measure performance and identify areas for improvement, developing design specifications for aircraft systems, applying scientific principles to improve the performance of the aircraft, researching the environmental impact of the aircraft and taking action to minimize it, investigating problems with aircraft or the cause of accidents, creating reports for clients, and providing technical advice, maintaining aircraft and carrying out regular inspections. So those are the answers. Pag kulang po or sobra, mali po tayo. Okay? Other than that, wala na pong iba. Okay? So as long as it is related to supervising, inspection, checking, okay, that is actually part of the analysis engineer. Testing as well, but then more of, okay, in a sense of supervision lang, in general po. In general of inspection, testing, maintaining, or whatsoever. Okay? Pag may execution na kasi, it's the role of the mechanic na. So that is why. Okay? This one is considered it's because you're just conducting a routine and special inspections as required by the regulations. Ginagawa naman po talaga yan. Okay? Another one is inspect completed work to certify that maintenance meets standards. So you are doing supervision in here. Okay? Another one is inspect airframe for wear or other defects. So you are just inspecting in general. Okay? So next, um, eto. Maintaining aircraft and carrying out regular inspections. So, ginagawa naman po talaga. By what? By means of the naked eye or by at least means of the borescope or other equipments like magnifying glass as well. Okay, so those are the answers. Now, next, I repeated the question but changed only. So these are the examples of the role of the mechanics. So the answers are this one only. Okay, so conduct routine and special inspection as required by regulation, definitely. Inspect completed work to certify that maintenance meets standards and that aircraft are ready for operations. Okay, read and interpret maintenance manuals, service bulletins, and other specifications to determine the feasibility and method of repairing or replacing malfunctioning or damaged components. Maintain repair logs documenting all preventive corrective aircraft maintenance. Modify aircraft structures, space vehicle system or components following drawings, schematics, charts, engineering orders, and technical publications. Inspect airframes for wear or other defects, and maintaining aircraft and carrying out regular inspection. So those are only for the mechanic po. Other than that, wala na pong iba. Question po or clarification? Do we have any? None daw kayo stuck you. How about the others? Sorry sir, all caps. Yeah, okay lang naman. No worries. Okay. Yes, Mr. Dosil.
Ilang points po lahat sa isang question na yun?
2 points.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Next, reliability refers to the totality of the features and characteristics of a product or service that bear on its ability to satisfy a user's given needs. True or false? This is false. Why false, sir? This is quality, not reliability. Okay? Kasi totality of features and characteristics po. So it's more of quality, not reliability. Okay? Next, the present generation also believes in the philosophy of doing zero maintenance to make the product reach its optimal reliability. True or false? This is true. Okay? Even now and then, we're still actually applying 0 hour maintenance. Though it started around the second generation, which is preventative overhaul, but then again, continuously happening, okay, and done for checking and doing maintenance. Next, lubricating machines to reduce wear, tear, and diffusion corrosion is an example of what type of maintenance. This is preventive maintenance or proactive maintenance. You could answer proactive or preventive alone. It's because on the question, it's what type of maintenance. So, okay lang po siya. Okay? Question po? Meron ba? Wala. Okay, next. A technician responds to an emergency heating system repair in the middle of winter and notices partially clogged or dirty filters. Okay, and the technician requests to clean or replace filters shortly to improve efficiency and prevent further heat loss. Then this is an example of what type of maintenance? This is corrective maintenance. Why? It's because they applied something while doing prevention. Okay, so corrected. Next, it is the process of removing the power plant from the aircraft, transporting it to the shop, make the new record or recondition parts in doing reassembly or reinstallation, testing and completing the paperwork. This is overhaul. Okay, 0 hours, pwede po yun. 0 hour, overhaul, overhauling, overhaul maintenance, overhauling maintenance. Any of those. So those are the combination of the words. Okay? Other than that, I don't think wala naman ng ibang answer bukod dito. Nalagay ko naman na lahat. 0 hours, 0 hour, okay, overhaul, overhauling, overhaul, maintenance, overhauling, maintenance. Okay? So, next. Its purpose is to ensure that all the machinery and equipment required for production will operate at optimal efficiency all the time. This is maintenance. Okay, so the answer will be maintenance only. That is the ultimate goal. Okay, so next, it is a concept of ensuring reliability and maintainability of manufacturing the product by providing various information collected during actual operations to their design phase. So the word is the design phase, maintenance prevention. Okay? So yun po yung sagot. May keyword naman. Okay? Next. Its goal is to respond or fix something that has malfunctioned. It focuses on restoring broken or faulted equipment to normal operating conditions if at all possible. This is breakdown maintenance or reactive maintenance. Okay? So, question po? Kaya naman? Okay. Next, a centrifugal pump motor in a coal preparation plant is a vital asset for a day-to-day operations. To avoid unscheduled downtime, the maintenance team performed monitoring of vibrations with vibration meters because it's a large piece of mechanical equipment that performs heavy rotation. So, ano kaya to? This is predictive maintenance. Okay? Or condition-based or may dash. Okay? Kailangan po kompleto. Tinanggap ko na din kahit predictive lang alone. Okay? So, question po. Na naman? Okay. Next. Most facilities have a heating, cooling, and ventilation system running throughout their buildings. This system requires regular inspections and tune-ups to keep running at optimum efficiency. Much of the work is simple, such as keeping it clean, okay, and replacing air filters regularly. This is periodic. Kasi the word regular inspection. Okay? It's a time. It's a routine, okay, to consider. So it's scheduled maintenance, periodic, time-based. Okay, those are acceptable answers. Okay. And then last, corrective maintenance is carried out after failure detection and it aims at restoring an asset to a condition in which it can perform its intended function. And predictive maintenance tends to include direct measurement of the item. True or false? This is true. Definitely. Okay, yun naman po talaga yung meaning niya. Okay. So, question po on the answer key or clarifications or something that you would like to raise as a concern? Meron po ba? Excuse me. Okay tayo? Wala naman? Sige. Kung wala, I'll proceed with the discussion. Okay? So, kung wala po, yun lang. Okay? Anyway, so I think we're done with this one. So, let me ready my presentation. Okay na tayo. All good. So, I think okay naman yung scores. Got 24 is the highest. The lowest is 14, 12. Okay. So, sorry for those I can't consider. It's because, again, or during the orientation, I've said it already. So, please, next time, be on time po. Okay? So, yun lang naman. Next, let's discuss the types of reliability. Okay? This is the topic of us for the week. Okay? So, after this one, of course, we will gonna have a quiz within the week. Okay? In relation to all the topics that was discussed within first week until this week. Okay? Kasi assessment po siya. Okay? So, types of reliability. We are actually applying the types of reliability in a sense of testing the consistency of the result. Okay? It's because the consistency of the result for every test is actually an indication that this product or item gives the most possible reliable percentage. Okay? So that we could determine if that particular item or equipment is really reliable or not. Okay, so like with the types of the maintenance, okay, we also have types of reliability. So it only varies, or it only differs on when is the time that you're going to apply it, and where are you going to apply it, and how are you going to apply it. Okay, same thing as well as what the type of maintenance uh, has. Okay, so types of reliability. We have inter-rater or inter-observer reliability. This used to assess the degree to which different raters or observers give consistent estimates of the same phenomenon. Okay, test retest reliability used to assess the consistency of a measure from one time to another. Parallel forms reliability used to assess the consistency of the results of two tests constructed in the same way from the same content domain. And internal consistency reliability is used to assess the consistency of the results across items within a test. So basically, they differs only with the what do you call this one? Okay, forms, observers, times, and then variations as well. So for the first one, okay, we are testing the consistency of the result with the observers or raters. That's why it's called inter-rater or inter-observer. Okay. The second one is actually test over time. So that is actually our number one factor. Next is different versions of the same test for the parallel forms. It's because it's just another form of that particular test that we are doing on a person, okay, or even on the uh, things or equipment. Okay. Next is a test at one point in time, meaning to say consistency of the result for every item or internally. So for you to be able to understand it even more, let's have example. So, for example, we have object or phenomenon for the inter-rater and inter-observer. So, we're testing the consistency of the result of the observers if they are going to select the same answer or they will have the same reaction. Okay, so observer 1 or observer 2, are they equal? So, consistency ng result that the observer 1 will select the same object and also the observer 2. Sir, is it only applicable for two observers? Um, Ideally, yes, but then it's possible for you to have at least more than two, but not so much. It's because every people are really diverse and every machineries and equipment are diverse at their own pace. So basically, kapag madami po masyado yung ating testing group, we will not be able to tell that it's really reliable in a sense. It's because kailangan mas less, mas okay. Doon lang po nag apply si inter-rater or inter-observer. Okay? So basically, for example, if it is an object or phenomenon, halimbawa, the question is, okay, for a person, are you willing to ride an Airbus aircraft? Okay, yes or no is the answer. So the observer one, if he or she is going to answer yes, and the observer two is going to answer yes as well, then the consistency of the result is 100% reliability. Okay? So, ganun lang po yung tinitignan natin. Or, if it is actually related to equipment, so if you're actually putting a test, like for example, the GTE, okay, only one test or object or phenomenon, okay, for that particular test, and then, dapat, same reaction, yung makukuha ng first test and then second test with that equipment so that we can see the consistency of the result of the rater or observer. Okay? Kasi pwedeng yung observer, we could actually relate that one into an object naman. Pabaliktad. If we are talking about phenomenon. Okay? So, now, so we are actually answering the question in here, are different observers consistent or not? So that we could say that that particular object or item is reliable or that particular test is reliable for determining the thing or the phenomenon itself. Okay? Can establish this outside of your study in a pilot study, meaning to say, when we are dealing with research and development, that is considered as a large study. So for you to be able to ready the data collection that you are gathering, okay, much appreciated if you start with pilot study, meaning to say a small research and development in a sense of getting few data collection and then making those data collection ready to put in a large study. So, mas okay po siya sa konti lang. Kaya, this can be established outside your study in a pilot study. Okay? And then, can look at the percentage of the agreement, especially with category ratings. Doon po siya nag apply. Okay? And can use correlations with continuous ratings. So the correlation only of the continuous rating that they are consistent at answering the same answer. Okay? Or the same reaction with the test. Ganun lang po siya. Nakukuha po ba? Do we have question with inter-rater or inter-observer? Nakatulala na kayo dyan. Okay. So, okay naman tayo dito. Madali naman siya intindihin. Okay. Thank you. So, next. How about the second one? So, this is an example. Time 1 and time 2. So, for example, if we are going to give a test, okay, that is identical or that is facsimile, but differs only with the time. For example, binigyan ko kayo ng test within this day. Okay? And then, next week, the same day, I'm going to give you the same test. Wala akong pinalitan, wala akong binago. Okay, so meaning to say, we are looking for the consistency of the result that you will be able to maintain your score or you may be able to at least increase your score. It's because it's already familiar with you. Otherwise, kapag mas bumaba, ibig sabihin, hindi ka reliable. Kasi ikaw yung tinetest eh. Okay? Unless, if we are talking about the equipment, same thing. So, for example, we put a test, a certain test only for an aircraft's part, okay, within this time. And then after a week, same. Same test pa din, walang binago. And then same conditions and whatsoever. So, dapat, the performance itself will still remain the same or at least improve in a sense. Kasi depende. Because we're looking for the consistency of the result that it will be reliable. Okay? Regardless that it will be tested with different times. Okay? As long as the tests are the same. Okay? So, we're answering here the question or measuring the instrument at 2 times for multiple persons. Okay lang po yung kahit gaano kadami. Kasi naman, ang tinitingnan is the consistency of the result of the one who is answering the test. Okay? So, next. Compute correlation between the two measures only. It's because different time lang naman, okay, to consider. But same test will be given. Okay? And assumes there is no change in the underlying trait between time 1 and time 2. So yun yung ina-assume natin. Sir, how about kung bumaba? Then we can say that that particular item or equipment is not reliable at all. It's because bumaba pa yung result. Kung tumaas, mas masasabi natin na much more reliable. Okay? Excuse me for that. Kuha po ba? Okay? So, question or clarification with this one? Wala naman? All good? Okay. Next. Parallel forms. So, when we are talking about parallel forms, this is actually given at the same time. Same time lang po. Okay? But different version of a test or forms. Meaning to say, I have form A and form B. Okay? And then, sir, posible po ba yon na binibigay yung isang test? What we are trying to say in here is, we're not giving the same test in a sense of same time almost. Okay? Pero siguro within the time frame lang. Kumbaga, halimbawa, first hour, you'll take the form A. Second hour, you'll take the form B. Okay? So, minimal lang yung distance ng time. Hindi po yung sobrang laki ng gap. Okay? Kasi hindi naman natin masasabi na possible mong masagutan agad ng sabay mong sinasagutan yung dalawang test. Okay? So, we're looking only for the consistency of the result regardless that we change the form of the test. For example, in educational contexts, okay, halimbawa, ang ginawa ko is form A, for example, set A, 1 to 15. And then, for the set B na ibibigay ko within the same time, okay, ang gagawin ko, i-arrange ko lang yung format in a sense of not changing the words, not changing the things, but shuffle in a sense. So, different version lang siya. Kasi nga, na-shuffle na siya. Okay? So, we're looking for the consistency of the result that you will have the same result. Okay? So, yun lang naman po siya. Now, so it administer both forms to the same people. Same people, sir, why? Eh kasi kapag binigay mo sa iba, hindi mo malalaman kung ano yung consistency ng result. Tama po ba ako? Okay? So, kailangan, yung test kasi natin, different form, pero para malaman mo kung effective yung test, dapat sa iisang tao pa din. Or same group. Walang nadagdag, wala ding nabawas. Okay? Kasi kukunin mo pa yung mean average nun eh. Get correlation between the two forms. So, the correlation in between the two forms, if, okay, you will still be able to maintain the result or increase the result. Much acceptable. Okay. Next, usually done in educational contexts where you need alternative forms because of the frequency of retesting and where you can sample from lots of equivalent questions. So, yun lang naman po ang parallel forms. Question po or clarification. Do we have any? Na naman? Sige. Now, next. How about the fourth one? Internal consistency. Huwag mo na pansinin to. When we are talking about internal consistency, it means that we are looking for the consistency of the result across items as usual. Ibig sabihin internally. For example, it's no longer on the forms, it's no longer in the time, it's no longer in the raters or observers, but okay, within the test. Meaning to say, for example, sir, ano bang maganda? Halimbawa, 1 to 15 yung ibibigay kong test sa inyo. I'm going to give you 1 to 15 tests. Okay? For each of the item, there are actually selections or options, like A, B, C, for example. So I'm looking for the consistency of the result that everyone is actually selecting the correct answers. Like for example, for number 1, the answer is A. So the amount of the consistency of the result that everyone will select A. And then next for the number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6. Yun po yun. Kaya siya tinawag na internal consistency. It's because it's more of an intensive checking of the consistency of the results for each of the numbers of the test. Nakukuha po ba natin? Okay, so internally na siya, kaya siya internal. So more of detailed approach on looking for the consistency of the result. So we have 4 different types of internal consistency reliability where you could actually measure it. Okay, the first one is the one that you are seeing on your screen, which is average inter-item correlation. So it means when we are talking about average inter-item correlation, we're actually looking for the consistency of the result based on the pair up of the items. Meaning to say, for example, okay, eto siya. One test, okay, item 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're looking for the consistency of the result of the pairing of the items. So for example, item 1 to 1, item 1 to 2, item 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5, and 1 to 6. And then next, item 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 5, and 2 to 6, and so on and so forth until you'll be able to finish the pairing. Okay? Sa mas madaling sabi, ibig sabihin, it's like, for example, babaan natin kasi mas madami yan eh. ABC, 3 letters only. So for the ABC, we're looking for the consistency of the result of pairing A to B, B to C, and A to C. And then we're getting the reliability of those item. And then get the mean average of that, like the one that we are doing in here. So we're getting the mean average for each of the pairs that we have in here. So 1.0 is the highest reliability. Of course, it's because it's 100%. Okay? Otherwise, yung mas bababa, mas less yung reliability. So sir, possible po ba na nagiging 100%? Ideal lang po yung mga 1. Usual, the most acceptable are these values. Okay? Binigay lang po to as in connection to the highest possible reliability that you could get. Okay? So, sir, ano po ba yung acceptable na reliability percentage? In average inter-item correlation, I think around 70% and above, if I'm not mistaken. So, yun yung naalala ko. Or, di ko alam kung nalagay ko sa notes ko yan eh. Okay, let me check. Di yata. Pero, yun yung naaalala ko lang. Mga around 70. Okay? So, yun. Okay. Question po, with average inter-item correlation, do we have any? Or all good naman? Okay naman? So, ano na naman, ano ba yung ano nyo? Anong tawag dyan sa game na yan? Among Us, no? Tama ba? Among Us? Yeah. Sige. May kanya-kanya kayong team eh, no? Every week. So, okay lang yan. Okay, next. How about the average item total correlation? It's the same thing as what we are doing on the inter-item correlation. The difference only is we're getting the consistency of the result for every totality of the items. So, anong pinagkaiba niya na dagdag, sir? So, basically, you're getting the total mean average for each of the column. Okay? And then after that, you get the mean average of the item total. So, ganun lang po yung nadagdag na way. But still the same format of pairing up ng item to item, and then just get the mean average of the table for each of the column. And then after that, to get the most reliable value or to determine the reliability percentage of the test, okay, you simply get the mean average of the total. Okay? Total mean for every columns. So, yun lang naman po yung nadagdag. Okay? So, sir, is it the same thing as how we test it on the internal consistency of the average inter-item? Yes. Okay? Much reliable lang in a sense yung item total kasi mas kita siya kasi nga you get the total. Or mas madalas ginagamit to kapag sobrang dami po ng items. Lalo na sa mga personality tests, like 200 items for someone who is answering. So, kasi kapag pa isa-isa yon matatagalan ka. Okay, compared naman kay item total. So, mas madali. Okay? So, next. Third one is split half correlations. When we are dealing with split half, so for example, we have tests 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 again. You simply split the set of questions into half. Okay? So wala kang papalitan na version. Halimbawa, odd numbers, even numbers is something that I am going to give with you, class. Okay? So basically, ganito po siya. Halimbawa, yung sinelect mo, item 1, 3, and 4. And then yung pakabila naman na group, item 2, 5, and 6. Then you are getting the mean average based on the results. Sir, paano po yung ginagawa? So for example, halimbawa, yung 1, 3, and 4, pinasagot ko ulit sa inyo. Okay? And then after that, yung item 2, 5, and 6, pinasagot ko din sa inyo at the same time. So that I'll be able to see the consistency of the result that that particular test, okay, is actually reliable in a sense of, for example, kasi madalas kasi na pagkakamalan si split half na almost the same with parallel forms. Okay? It's because, sir, parang hinati mo lang naman. That's the main idea. Okay? Kasi See, parallel forms, yes, they are almost the same. It's because you are taking it at different time in a sense, okay? But okay, you simply just rearrange the forms. But when it comes to split half, okay, same content pa din, but then again, just giving you the half muna to get if you are actually understanding the main context, and then give you another half of that particular test. Okay? Or pwede naman, sir, pwede bang pagsabayin sagutan yun? Pwede naman. So I'm just looking for the consistency of the result that it is the same topic, okay? Same approach, but then again, different questions. Pero nasa iisang question lang. Okay? Sa parallel forms po kasi, you are rearranging or creating another form just to see the consistency of the result, but taking it all the way one time. Pag naman po kay split half, one time din naman, but then again, only cutting it into half so that you'll be able to see if nakukuha ba talaga yung discussion. So same thing as well with the equipment. Ganun din po. Okay? For every parts, kakalahatiin lang natin for a certain test. Okay? And then yung kalahati naman, i-apply din po sa same test. And then we're just looking for the consistency of the result that it will give the same reliability percentage. Okay? Nakukuha po ba yon? Question po or clarification? Na naman? Okay. So, last. How about Cronbach's alpha? The Cronbach's alpha is basically just a formula method. Kasi kapag nag-split half po kayo, 'di ba? Ang haba ng way. Paano kung halimbawa ang items pinag-uusapan natin is 500 items. So sobrang dami mong i-pair up. Kahit hatiin mo yun sa kalahati, 250 and then pair. Okay, and then another one with that one and then get the mean average. Now, on the Cronbach's alpha, this was actually introduced or made by Lee Cronbach around 1951. So gumawa siya ng formula in a sense para hindi ka na mag-manual computation. You apply the formula and then you may be able to get the consistency of the result. Okay? SH dyan, split half po yan. Split half 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on and so forth until the end. Okay? Kung ilan man yung pag-split na ginawa mo. And then, you'll be able to get the percentage amount, okay, of the reliability. Like this one, 0.85. Okay? So, like the average of all the possible split half correlations. So, getting the consistency of the result of each. So para siyang, it's a combination of inter-item and inter-total in a sense. Pero formula method na po siya. Okay? Kasi you are relating all of the split half combinations. Kasi pwede mo namang gawin na 1, 2, 3, tas 4, 5, 6. Pwedeng odd numbers and even. And pwede din namang another arrangement to see the consistency of the result that it gives the same 0.87. Okay? Unless may pagbabago po, kagaya ng nakikita nyo dito. And then getting the mean average of that one. Okay? So, sir, aside from the Cronbach's Alpha, meron na po bang ginagamit ngayon na software? Yes, there is. Actually. Yung software naman po yun, inadapt kung saan sa ginawa na formula ni Lee Cronbach. Okay? Para ka lang nag-Excel pero nilagay mo siya. Pero may software na po kasi siya, may iba pa siyang method na ginawa. Kung paano mo i-input yung values, so naka-visual basic na siya and then nakaayos na lahat, naka-program, simply click and then lalabas na po yung percentage ng reliability. Okay? So those are actually the 4 internal consistency reliability in computing for the consistency of the results. Okay? Question po or clarification? Meron po ba? Wala naman? Wala? Okay. So, just to give a summary, again, average inter-item correlation, average item total correlation, split half reliability or split half correlation, and Cronbach's alpha. Okay? Capital C po kasi galing sa surname ni Lee Cronbach. Okay? So those are actually for the types of, but we have four for the types. But for the internal consistency, we also have four. Okay? So, question po. Meron po ba? Ano ba? Okay tayo? Wala? Okay, sige. Kung wala, that's it for today. So I guess that's the end of the discussion. So please be ready on Friday. Okay? Um, same time. So 12 to 1. Okay, I'll give you 15 minutes extra for the submission at least. And then after that, if it's still not possible for you to finish, subjected to stealing grade within 48 hours po. Okay? So, yun lang naman. Okay? I'm going to give the copy of this one after this presentation. What else? So, coverage will be topics that we discussed on the introduction, role of the mechanic and the engineer, types of maintenance, and also types of reliability for your quiz number 1. So, class dismissed. Thank you and have a great day.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you,
Thank you,
sir.
sir.
Katila ilog ko. Okay. Thank you.